Hello, my wonderful friends. Welcome back to our channel dedicated to helping you live your golden years with strength, vitality, and joy. I'm so grateful you've joined me today for this important conversation about something that affects each and every one of us, our heart health. You know, when I turned 70 myself a few years ago, I realized something profound. These aren't just our later years, they're our greater years. But to truly make them great, we need to be proactive about our health, especially when it comes to our hearts. Today, I want to share with you 7 critical heart health indicators that you should be monitoring. These aren't just medical terms or numbers on a chart. They're signposts on your journey to a healthier, more vibrant life. The wonderful news is that many of these indicators respond beautifully to the choices we make every day. That's right, you have more power than you might realize. I'll be sharing real examples, practical advice, and simple changes that can make a significant difference. So, get comfortable, perhaps grab a notebook if you'd like to jot down some notes, and let's embark on this heart-healthy journey together. Blood pressure, your heart's daily weather report. Your blood pressure is like your heart's daily weather report. It tells you what kind of conditions your cardiovascular system is experiencing. High blood pressure, or hypertension, is often called the silent killer, because it typically has no symptoms until serious damage has already occurred. Let me tell you about my dear friends Martha and Robert. Both are 75 years old and enjoy gardening and spending time with their grandchildren. Martha checks her blood pressure regularly at home and noticed it was creeping up about 6 months ago. She spoke with her doctor, made some dietary changes, cutting back on salt, processed foods, and adding more leafy greens, and started a gentle walking routine. Today, her blood pressure has stabilized at a healthy level. Robert, on the other hand, avoided doctors and health checks. "I feel fine," he would tell everyone. Unfortunately, he recently experienced a minor stroke that gave him quite a scare. His doctors found his blood pressure was dangerously high at 180/110. Now he's on medication and making lifestyle changes, but he wishes he'd been monitoring this important indicator earlier. The American Heart Association recommends keeping your blood pressure below 120/80 mmHg. If you're not checking your blood pressure regularly, now is the time to start. Many pharmacies offer free checks, or you might consider investing in a home monitor. They're user-friendly and can provide valuable information to share with your healthcare provider. Remember, friends, high blood pressure doesn't announce itself with symptoms you can feel. You must check it to know where you stand. Cholesterol levels, building blocks or roadblocks. Cholesterol is a fascinating substance. Our bodies need it to build cells, but too much of the wrong kind can create roadblocks in our arteries. Consider my friends Elaine and Dorothy, both vibrant 78-year-olds. Elaine discovered her cholesterol was high during a routine checkup. Rather than immediately turning to medication, she worked with her doctor on lifestyle modifications. She began eating more fiber-rich foods like oatmeal and beans, added heart-healthy fats like olive oil and avocados, and reduced her intake of red meat and full-fat dairy. Within 6 months, her LDL, the less desirable cholesterol, had dropped by 30 points. Dorothy, meanwhile, has a strong family history of high cholesterol. Despite maintaining a healthy diet similar to Elaine's, her numbers remained stubbornly high. Her doctor prescribed a statin medication which, combined with her healthy habits, successfully brought her cholesterol to safer levels. What's the lesson here? Different bodies respond differently, and sometimes medication is necessary, and that's perfectly okay. What matters is knowing your numbers and taking appropriate action. For most of us over 70, doctors recommend totalic cholesterol below 200 mg/dl. The insulin needed for salutation, and LDL, bad cholesterol, below 100 mg/dl. Good cholesterol above 60 mg/dl. Triglycerides below 150 m/dl. Talk to your doctor about how often you should have your cholesterol checked. Typically, if your levels are normal, once every year or two is sufficient. If you're taking medication or have other risk factors, more frequent testing may be recommended. Blood sugar, sweet balance for heart health. Many people don't realize that diabetes and prediabetes aren't just about sugar. They significantly increase your risk of heart disease. In fact, adults with diabetes are nearly twice as likely to die from heart disease or stroke as people without diabetes. Let me tell you about William and George, two gentlemen I've known for years. William noticed he was feeling unusually thirsty and tired. Instead of dismissing these symptoms as just getting older, he mentioned them to his doctor, who tested his blood sugar. It turned out William had prediabetes with a fasting blood sugar of 115 min/dl. With this early detection, William made targeted changes. He reduced his portion sizes, especially of carbohydrate-rich foods, added more physical activity to his day, and lost about 12 pounds over 6 months. His blood sugar returned to normal range and his energy improved dramatically. George unfortunately ignored similar symptoms for years. By the time he sought help, his blood sugar was at 210 mg/dl, and he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He's now working diligently to manage his condition, but he's also dealing with early signs of nerve damage in his feet, a complication that could have been avoided with earlier intervention. For heart health, aim to keep your fasting blood glucose below 100 mg/dl. If you're between 100 and 125 mg/dl, you're in the pre-diabetes range, a warning sign that deserves your attention. Above 126 mg/dl on multiple tests indicates diabetes. Simple changes that help regulate blood sugar include eating smaller, more frequent meals, choosing whole grains over refined carbohydrates, including protein with every meal to slow sugar absorption, taking a 10-minute walk after meals, staying well hydrated with water instead of sugary beverages. Remember, the connection between blood sugar and heart health is strong. Monitoring this indicator and keeping it in the healthy range protects both systems. Resting heart rate. Your heart's workload indicator. Your resting heart rate, how many times your heart beats per minute when you're completely at rest, tells you a great deal about your heart's efficiency and your overall fitness. Consider the stories of Helen and Patricia, both active 73-year-olds. Helen has practiced Tai Chi for decades and walks daily. Her resting heart rate is an impressive 62 beats per minute. This lower rate means her heart is strong and efficient, working less hard to pump the same amount of blood. Patricia always considered herself healthy because she could still keep up with her grandchildren, but she hadn't engaged in regular exercise for years. Her resting heart rate was 88 beats per minute. After her doctor pointed out this was on the high side, she began a supervised exercise program at her local senior center. 6 months later, her resting heart rate had decreased to 74 beats per minute, a significant improvement that reduced her heart's daily workload. Generally, a resting heart rate between 60 and 100 beats per minute is considered normal. But for older adults, the lower end of that range, 60 to 70, is associated with better cardiovascular health and longevity. You can easily check your resting heart rate at home. 1. Sit quietly for at least 10 minutes. 2. Find your pulse at your wrist or neck. 3. Count the beats for 30 seconds and multiply by 2. Do this a few times over several days to establish your baseline. If you notice your resting heart rate is consistently high or has increased significantly, discuss this with your healthcare provider. Simple ways to improve your resting heart rate include regular cardiovascular exercise appropriate for your fitness level, staying well hydrated, managing stress through meditation, deep breathing, or other relaxation techniques, ensuring adequate, quality sleep, limiting caffeine and alcohol. Your heart beats about 100,000 times per day. A lower resting rate means less wear and tear over time, a simple investment in your heart's longevity. Waist circumference, the heart health measurement that matters most. When it comes to weight and heart health, where you carry your weight matters more than what the scale says. Specifically, abdominal fat, the kind that collects around your middle, is more dangerous for your heart than fat in other areas. Let me introduce you to James and Richard, both 76 years old with similar BMIs of 27, which is technically in the overweight category. James carries most of his weight around his midsection, with a waist circumference of 42 inches. Recent tests showed he has elevated inflammation markers and early insulin resistance, both risk factors for heart disease. Richard, while the same height and weight as James, has a more even distribution of weight throughout his body, with a waist circumference of 36 inches. His metabolic indicators are all within normal ranges, and his heart health screening showed no immediate concerns. The difference? It's all about that abdominal fat, which produces inflammatory substances that can damage blood vessels and increase heart disease risk. For optimal heart health, men should aim for a waist circumference of less than 40 inches, while women should aim for less than 35 inches. And yes, these guidelines apply to us seniors too. To measure your waist circumference correctly. 1. Stand and place a tape measure around your middle, just above your hip bones. 2. Make sure the tape is horizontal around the body. 3. Measure after breathing out normally. Don't suck in your stomach. If your waist measurement is higher than recommended, focus on these strategies. Incorporate more movement throughout your day. Practice strength training to build muscle mass. Even gentle resistance exercises help. Prioritize quality sleep, as poor sleep contributes to abdominal fat storage. Manage stress, as chronic stress hormones promote belly fat. Choose anti-inflammatory foods like berries, fatty fish, and olive oil. Remember, friends, it's never too late to work on reducing abdominal fat, and even modest reductions can significantly benefit your heart health. Exercise capacity. Your heart's functional age. How easily you can climb stairs, walk distances, or perform daily activities reveals more about your heart health than your chronological age. Your exercise capacity, how well your cardiovascular system delivers oxygen during physical activity, is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Let me share the stories of Margaret and Elizabeth, both 82 years young. Margaret makes a point of staying active daily. She gardens, takes her dog for walks, and attends a water aerobics class twice weekly. When her grandchildren visit, she happily walks with them to the park several blocks away, without becoming overly winded. Elizabeth, in contrast, gradually became more sedentary after retirement. Simple activities like carrying groceries or climbing the stairs in her home now leave her breathless and fatigued. Recently, after experiencing this breathlessness more frequently, she saw her doctor and discovered she has reduced heart function that could have been prevented with regular physical activity. The good news? It's never too late to improve your exercise capacity. Elizabeth started with supervised cardiac rehabilitation and is now able to walk for 15 minutes without stopping, a significant improvement from where she began. How can you assess your own exercise capacity? Can you walk up 2 flights of stairs without stopping? Can you walk briskly for 10 minutes without becoming overly breathless? Can you perform household chores like vacuuming without needing to rest? If these activities are challenging, start small and build gradually. Begin with 5-10 minutes of walking daily, adding a minute each week. Try chair exercises if standing activities are difficult. Consider water exercises, which are gentle on joints. Always work with your healthcare provider, especially if you have existing conditions. What matters most is consistency. Even small amounts of regular physical activity can strengthen your heart and improve your exercise capacity over time. Your heart is a muscle that responds to training at every age. Sleep quality, the overnight restoration your heart needs. While we often focus on diet and exercise for heart health, quality sleep is equally crucial yet frequently overlooked, especially as we age. Consider my friends David and Thomas, both 79-year-old retirees. David prioritizes his sleep routine. He goes to bed and wakes up at consistent times, avoids screens for an hour before bedtime, and keeps his bedroom cool and dark. He typically sleeps soundly for about 7 hours each night and wakes feeling refreshed. Thomas struggles with fragmented sleep. He falls asleep watching television, wakes multiple times throughout the night, and often feels tired during the day. He assumed this was simply part of aging until his doctor connected his poor sleep with his rising blood pressure and irregular heartbeat. Poor sleep affects heart health through multiple mechanisms. It increases stress hormones that raise blood pressure. It promotes inflammation throughout the body. It affects hunger hormones, leading to increased appetite and potential weight gain. It makes it harder to exercise and stay active during the day. For optimal heart health, aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. If you're experiencing sleep difficulties, consider these heart-healthy sleep strategies. Maintain consistent sleep and wake times even on weekends. Create a restful environment, cool, dark, and quiet. Limit fluids 2 to 3 hours before bedtime to reduce nighttime bathroom trips. Avoid alcohol and caffeine in the evening. Practice relaxation techniques like gentle stretching or deep breathing before bed. Discuss persistent sleep problems with your healthcare provider, as conditions like sleep apnea significantly increase heart disease risk. Many seniors accept poor sleep as inevitable, but it's not. Quality sleep is both achievable and essential for your heart's nocturnal repair processes. Your heart's future is being written today. My dear friends, as we've explored these 7 critical heart health indicators, I hope you've recognized a common thread. Each one responds to the choices we make daily. Your heart's future isn't predetermined by your age or even your genetics. It's being written by your decisions today. Whether it's Martha checking her blood pressure regularly, Elaine modifying her diet to improve her cholesterol, William catching pre-diabetes early, Patricia improving her resting heart rate through exercise, Richard maintaining a healthy waist circumference, Margaret keeping her exercise capacity strong, or David prioritizing quality sleep, each person took simple, manageable steps that made profound differences in their heart health. I want you to know something important. It is never, ever too late to make positive changes. Your body has an amazing capacity to heal and improve at every age. The human heart is remarkably resilient, and it responds to good treatment regardless of how many candles were on your last birthday cake. As one of my favorite cardiologists says, the best time to start taking care of your heart was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Next steps for a healthier heart. So, what should you do with this information? Let me suggest some specific next steps. 1. Schedule a checkup with your healthcare provider to establish your baseline for all these indicators. Knowledge is power. 2. Choose one area from today's discussion that resonates with you, and make one small change this week. Perhaps it's checking your blood pressure, adding a 10-minute walk after dinner, or establishing a consistent bedtime routine. 3. Share this video with someone you care about. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death for adults over 65, but together we can change that statistic. 4. Join our community by subscribing to this channel and commenting below with which heart health indicator you'll be focusing on first. I read every comment and love hearing about your journey. 5. Remember to be patient and kind with yourself. Health improvements are rarely linear. There will be ups and downs, but consistent effort yields powerful results over time. My friends, thank you for spending this time with me today. Taking care of your heart isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. These truly can be your greatest years yet, filled with energy, joy, and the ability to do the things you love with the people who matter most. Until next time, keep your hearts healthy and your spirits bright. I believe in you.